Hi, everyone. I am recording a little bit early, but whenever you get here, it will be here. If you're interested in the talk, it will be here. And so today, quite an extraordinary day um, on many, many different levels. And we're celebrating much, but mostly I'm celebrating um, this incredible poem by by the poet laureate. Um, it was incredible. The inaugural poem was incredible, and I've loved her work for a very long time, Amanda Gorman, and um, I don't know. I've been following her for a few years, but this was just such an extraordinary experience with her today. And so I now have a new favorite poem, and it is by her. And it was the poem that she spoke today. And it just shows, the power of the arts and the power of the ability to really connect with something greater. And I know for me that when I'm connecting with the poems or when I'm connecting with the mystery, what I know is I know that it really is coming from somewhere else. Uh, and I really do see poems as a form of prayer. So I'm really grateful for her and for just the spectacular gift she gave everyone today. So beautiful. Uh, So, one of the things that I've been thinking about, especially in our Soyal time, there's an eagle flying right in front of my house. And so I'm watching this eagle fly here. Hello. It's so powerful. Oh my gosh. What a gift. Interesting. What I was just talking about. So I was thinking about a leadership and I was thinking about listening in this cycle that we're in. And I really appreciated so much of what I've heard today in many different ways. But one of the things that I think about um, with listening, uh, I was talking to some people that I really cherish, and I said, How do you see leadership?" And he said, "Listening." That ability to listen. That if you can listen, then everything will unfold from there. So I was really appreciating what he said and around listening, and it's so interesting how in this time of Soyal, one of the things uh, there is this precept or this work that we're doing right now, this concept. It's more than a concept because it's also action. But this action is to think of the earth as Mother Earth or Earth Mother, a spirit person who is a living organism who feels and responds. And one of the interesting things about this period of time or this cycle is that in the winter that we're not supposed to wake her up. So we're supposed to do all the things that we can in order to give her peace and to let the earth rest because everything needs rest. Everything needs to regenerate and then to come into the world in a new way, in a different way. And so I think that something really interesting, if we're not to have any loud or disturbing behavior right now, something really interesting for us all to think about is, if I'm not waking anything up, if I'm quiet enough not really to not disturb anything, like if I'm not disturbing anything or anyone, um, there's a quiet, there's a peace in that. And it was so powerful. I mean, I really enjoyed our inauguration today. It's very powerful and beautiful. And I loved the prayer. I loved the words that were spoken. They went to the heart. They definitely went to the heart. But there is this poem around um, Thich Nhat Hanh wrote, and he says, "We are aware that all generations of our ancestors and all future generations are present in us. We are aware of the expectations that our ancestors, our children, and their children have of us. We are aware that our joy, peace, freedom, and harmony are the joy, peace, freedom, and harmony of our ancestors, our children, and their children. We are aware that understanding is the very foundation of love. We are aware that understanding is the very foundation of love. We are aware that blaming and arguing never help us and only create a wider gap between us, that only understanding, trust, and love can help us to change and grow, that only understanding, trust, and love can help us change and grow. And that's Thich Nhat Hanh, who was a Buddhist monk. And so when I think about listening, I think about understanding and that it creates understanding. And how can we create understanding? I think that that was something that that everyone brought in today. That Amanda brought in with her beautiful work, with her inaugural poem. That Joe Biden brought in with his speech today. And I really appreciated just simply the words about love and connection and unity. And so I'm just wondering about unity and your thoughts about that and your experience of that. But I'm also wondering about what happens when we listen, and if we listen, can we gain more understanding than what we had before? And so um, I also appreciated, there's this poem also by Thomas Merton, and it's so beautiful. They're back to back poems in this really beautiful book called Prayers for Healing, 365 blessings, poems, and meditations from around the world, that I really love. Prayers for Healing. And it's edited by Maggie Oman. Maggie Oman, and the introduction is by the Dalai Lama. And so we're still in Soyal, and we're in Soyal, or this period of using wholesome words when we talk about or describe people. It's a time of upliftment. It is a time to guard against loud and disturbing behavior. This is my favorite. To ask the spirits, to listen to you and bring down the rain of loving care upon the whole world. To listen to you, to ask the spirits to listen to you and to bring down the rain of loving care onto the whole world. And I just love thinking about that, the rain of loving care, the rain of loving kindness down upon the whole world. And we need rain. Rain is good. We want to celebrate all the rain that happens. Um, and then we're just being very respectful. We're not digging in the earth since the earth is resting, and that everything rests. Yeah, the other things is, we're also making self-examination. We're looking at ourselves and reflecting on where we can make improvements. None of us are going to do anything perfectly. We're all going to make mistakes, and so how do I do when I make mistakes, and what do I want to do in the future now and in the future to correct them? So we can also think about that. We can make plans, and we can prepare in advance also for the known and the unknown. And so, Creator and the Earth, Mother, Father, Son, and the other helper spirits are here and in the universe. Are making their own plans to help us. And so we want to think about how things are going, how the world is going, and what kind of preparations do we want to make. So, what's my conduct? I can make an honest self-examination, and then I can prepare in advance for the known and for the unknown. So, as we're thinking about this, and uh, being more quiet and reflective, introspective than we normally are, because it's the winter season, how can we go into that silence and gather strength? And so, I would ask, where is it that you gather strength? How can you gather strength during this time? And this beautiful Thomas Merton poem, I will close with his piece on the reality of silence. And it says, the reality that is present to us and in us. Call it being silence. And the simple fact that by being attentive, by learning to listen or recovering the natural capacity to listen, we can find ourselves engulfed in such happiness that it cannot be explained. The happiness of being at one with everything in that hidden ground of love for which there can be no explanations. May we all grow in grace and peace and not neglect the silence that is printed in the center of our being. It will not fail us. It will not fail us. Thomas Merton. And so we celebrate another threshold. And if we're listening deeply, we can hear all of the new voices, and we have some new leadership voices. We also have Kamala, who is our first woman of color and woman in this form of leadership. And I'm delighted and excited to see what unfolds present forward for us as we really do look at what does it mean? What does honor and respect really mean? And how can we come in and cross these thresholds in ways that are empowering and that bring beauty for all beings? Have a beautiful week, and I will look forward to seeing you next Wednesday. And Marie had her nieces and nephews this week, so we needed to reschedule our session. So I was able to celebrate with you all of the threshold that we're at, and all of the changes that we're experiencing. So I'm really grateful, and I'm sending blessings and strength to my beloved Sundance sister Marie, and I know she'll be joining us soon. All right, dear ones, I will talk to you really soon. I look forward to it.